Okay, I think now we're live. Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome back to Suzerain Capitalist Campaign livestream number 4. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Thought we were going to be stuck on the black screen for a minute. Okay. Just gotta drink some water here. Let's hit it. All right. So, where we last left off, hello, Potato Man, we passed the economic relief package for the businesses that have been strained. Let's check the news, kind of help me. Sorters politician shot dead. We knew about this. Protests, farewell, Bernard Cercas, murder was a method of the past. Here we go. Economist. Businesses are alive and well. Bailout saving thousands and thousands of jobs and softening the economic blow. The genius move led by President Rain will play out very well. So yeah, I gotta put on my economist voice. The genius move led by President Rain will play out very well in the years to come. The administration must focus on boosting employment to make sure the working class have food security and shelter in a time where their livelihoods are threatened. Some National Business Council members have already come out with positive messages, and there have been positive statistics released by the central bank as a result of the bailout. Swordland is racing towards growth and recovery if the government continues on this path. I don't think this used to be there, the logo. Neato. Alright. Rungberg closed their consulate. Okay. So I think what we're going to be doing now is we want to be meeting with Marcel Koronti, which will obviously be very, very good for us. Hold on, I think I'm going to sneeze. Gonna sneeze. Oh boy, I kind of feel it. Okay, it's not happening. I felt like I was about to sneeze. So I think what we want to do here is... Oh, actually, hold on a sec. Weren't we supposed to do something else? Finalization of the contract. Oh, well, here we go. Gus arrived earlier with a heartwarming smile. All right. All right, hold on. Hello, Mad Beast Yeti. Yes, let's get that emoji spam going, and I do mean that unironically. So, hello, Mr. President. Good to see you again. Appreciate you taking up my offer on the stock investment. Armadine is a very promising corporation, and if everything goes well, you will make solid returns. Thank you for arranging the opportunity. I will get you a 25-year-old Everlery Maroon if they make solid profits. And then I'll get you some wine. Oh. My pleasure, Mr. President. I will be looking forward to that Maroon because it is guaranteed. Simon Hall joined us and we discussed the railway. I came with a train. It was a little uncomfortable. For the train rides will be given. Project's going to improve logistics. You made the right choice for sure. I hope so, Gus. Okay, so we kind of have to remember here that even though both of these guys kind of have a tendency to trend toward free market, Simon Hall, as a member of the National Business Council, does represent the state, as it says right here, the state sector. Although he's, favor of, free market, whatnot stuff. That doesn't necessarily always mean privatization. But Gus, I think, is quite in favor of, businesses and privatization and stuff. Because, he was actually somebody who was under the, in the Alfonso administration, and we kept him on. So, that's why I was, going with Gus, even with that one little click there. Which is probably a pointless decision, but I think it got some importance. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. President. I have not and have never been a robot before I even ask. Yeah. My rural development plans will be partially completed by flocking new businesses to the area. Thank you. According to my estimation, this project will give about 50,000 citizens from the greater Holsword and Gislin areas appointment. What kind of end results do we expect? short-term employment and long-term economic development in the Gesslin and Greater Holsword regions. There are so many forgotten people living between the developed cities of Lochhaven and Holsword. They will benefit. Overview of the companies. All right, so this is where we have to, I think, pick who it's going to be. So we're not going to do the Swordish State Corporation, of course, because that's the government corporation. So we want to go with something private. So just to review, for those of you who haven't seen it before, you got the Swordish State Corporation, which is, yeah, it's the Swordland official company. There's the Underhall Construction, which is basically owned by Walter Tusk. He doesn't own all the shares, but he effectively has, it's his thing. And we've taken a bribe from Tusk saying that we were going to have him do his company, Underhall Construction, would end up doing this project. And then there's Taurus Holding, which is a new private company that doesn't have as much... it's kind of like... Yeah, it's the new blood in the construction industry. So we're going to be probably going with them. It's a British-Russian protected twin. Hi, I'm new. Well, hello, and welcome to the stream, British-Russian protected twin. So I reviewed the listed corporations. I wrote down some notes and ideas. All right, let's talk about Swordish. Yeah, it's respected. Who fucking cares? Let's see here. Okay, so basically Gus is saying Swordish State Corporation lacks a modern way of thinking. They also underperform with their slow construction methods. Look at the abysmal regional railway system. Looks like either way I kind of compliment them. We're going to say there's no relation. Alright. Let's see here. I want to hear about the others. Tell me about Taurus. Taurus Holding was founded in 1946 and is owned by the entrepreneur Karl. It's a new holding company whose subsidiaries use cutting-edge technology from Arcadia to reduce construction costs and prices. They're known to provide for their workers who are part of the labor union of Swordland. They're a very interesting corporation, especially because of their innovative construction methods, but aren't suitable for large projects like these. Just thought about this, but if we fully sell the SSC, we could use it for the second project. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Pressure protected. I was just playing UK in Hearts of Iron 4, and I got your notification. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see here. Why should we pick Taurus? That comma doesn't need to be there. It would fit our election promises of switching to a free market economy. Awarding contracts for privately owned corporations would be a step in the right direction. Taurus has completed fewer projects than the other companies, however they are slightly faster and cheaper. It won several awards internationally for being one of the fastest growing and advanced companies. The innovative aspect is refreshing, especially if they can deliver. Exactly, and why take such a risk now when we need to play it safer with companies like Underhall? They always deliver for the government on time. The project manager from Taurus Holding mentioned that they would be able to finish the project with the allocated funding. They're the only company who found the budget sufficient, making them a cheaper alternative. Yeah. Let's say Taurus is definitely worth considering. Just because I want to hear about Underhall. Okay, founded in the 20s, boomed in the 30s. CEO is Chris Char, the mayor of Conriat. Sold half his shares a few years ago. They took several contracts. How was your experience with them? They're a company I trust. I'm not so sure about trusting them on such a big contract, especially after the workers' issues, but they worked on several mega projects and always delivered them on time. We need to trust the corporation. They worked on 2 stuff. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Let's see the others. Alright. I have settled on Taurus Holdings. So it costs the least amount of money, therefore it's the best. Did we take in the bribe? Yes we did. That's why I've got 2 personal wealth there. So, you see, Underhall Construction costs money, and then so does the SSC. So we're going to go with Taurus Holding. It's free market, it's private, it fucks Tusk because I took the bribe and I said that I'd help him out, and now I'm screwing him, and that's kind of the most important thing. So we're going to be going with Taurus Holding here. Good that we are staying consistent to our economic strategy. Some of the Lotharberg group won't like this, but the contracts will be awarded to Taurus Holding. The company will be notified today, and the construction work will begin immediately afterward. Supply and demand, Tusk, cheaper company gets it. Yeah. I think we're off to a great start. Okay, late next year, grand opening. We're going to return to the duties. Seeing you soon. Conclude the meeting. Awesome. We take no bribes. How dare you, sir? We simply consider the wise counsel of the lobbyists. Exactly. I'm glad somebody around here gets it. Alright, I decided not to fulfill the bribe demands of the oligarchs. Risky railway project. Ooh, give it to an inexperienced company. Now, okay, now let's just review here real quick. Walter Tusk. Hold on, Lotharberg Group. Oh wait, no, he owns. Which is the paper he owns? The Economist. Oh yeah, well. Well, anyway, we've been given it to an inexperienced company. Some people are not down with that. Construction will begin. We're going to widen and upgrade hundreds of kilometers of existing railway. High-speed railway will pass from Anarka to Gelsord and connect the towns of Descat, Anka, and Vectoriat to the capital. Alright. Okay, next up, whoops, so as you can see, the railway has already begun. Arcasia develops its first ICBM. Okay, time to meet with Marcel Koronti. So let's review who on this is. This is another one of the big-time rich boys in our country. Marcel Koronti is a Swordish businessman, philanthropist, entrepreneur who is the son of the famous media proprietor Konrad Koronti. He is the chairman of HOS Conglomerate, Swordland's largest conglomerate operating in the media, energy, construction, trade, and tourism industries. He is also the chairman of Swordland Today, the most influential newspaper of Swordland, and operates HOS Advertising, the largest advertising company of Swordland. So he's got the media, and he's got the commercials on TV, and other stuff too, not just TV, billboards or whatever. He previously served as the chairman of HOS Results, a luxury hotel group with 12 destinations in 8 countries. Koronti obtained a bachelor's degree from the Parala School of Business and a master's degree in media and communication from Harvard University in Venture City, Arcasia. So he went abroad for his master's. In 1940, Koronti joined the Swordish Broadcasting Corporation as vice president in charge of advertising before being transferred to the HOS Resorts chain by Konrad Koronti. 3 years later, he transformed HOS Results from a leading hotel chain in Swordland into an international powerhouse through his expansion of the brand into 7 different countries. In 1905, he left HOS Resorts and started operating the HOS Advertising, the advertising company within the HOS Media group of the HOS conglomerate. Layers within layers. After his father's death in 1954, he was elected as the next chairman of HOS. His wealth is estimated to be around a couple billion SR, that's Swedish Ren. According to The Economist, he is one of the 3 richest swords alive today. Okay. We took a drive. The darkness is starting. So yeah. Took a turn before entering Konrad. The darkness was settling. So here's Sergey. This is the hardest part of this roleplay. We gotta be mean to Sergey. So we're gonna ignore him. Look outside. I can see giant stadium lights at the hilltop far away in the distance. It looked like a massive complex. We are nearing our destination. We arrived and the big iron gates of the country club opened. It was huge and outright extravagant. The main building, inspired by Lethbian architecture, was lit from all sides. It's lit, huh? Must have made a lot of dank memes. It was rather chilly. I was approached by Peter Vector and Lucien Gallade. I hope the journey was comfortable. Let's see here. Anything to keep me away from home. That band, huh? Well, this should prove distracting, shall we then? Because remember, we're also trying to get the achievement where we break up with our wife. After opening the marble-engraved wooden door, we were greeted by 2 tall women. The receptionist led us to the meeting room upstairs.
Marcel was standing by the window looking outside at the beautiful complex. He turned around to have a quick look at us both. He was a really handsome man with well-groomed hair. He walked towards me with his hand reached out for a handshake. Yeah, I'll shake his hand, why not? I shook his hand. He had a firm grip.
It's such a pleasure to meet you in person, Mr. Koronti. I appreciate your efforts to reach out for a mutually beneficial friendship.
Thanks for hosting us. I admired your father very much. May he rest in peace.
Welcome. Welcome. Your kind words have touched me, Vice President. He was indeed a great man. Let's see here. May he rest in peace. He was a true entrepreneur. He would have been very happy to hear this from you, Mr. President. It's time to look forward. Let's talk about our bright future.
I heard about your meteoric rise.
I heard about your meteoric rise in HOS. I'm flattered. You truly are going to be the best president this country has seen. I say this because you've gone against the odds and survived. I respect that more than anything. Let's see here. It seems we had similar experiences. Marcel gently pointed at the seats. We sat down around a gigantic table. Before speaking, he knocked on wood. The past months have been tumultuous, to say the least. I'm glad you and your family went unharmed at the shooting. The whole incident must have been a shock for the kids. They aren't used to what we lived through back in the late 20s. I still remember when my father took us out of the country when it became too dangerous in Conriat. Yeah, that's literally the same. It's like, we both really had to struggle. Like, you were in a college, and you and your students, your professors and fellow students were being rounded up and shot and gulags, and I had to watch it on television from across the ocean. We're pretty much the same. Let's see. They were startled, but the important thing is they are safe and sound. Of course, that is all that matters. No family should suffer from tragedy ever again. We had enough of that. Well, I'm known to be a straightforward person, so let me get to the point without wasting your valuable time. It was during the Alfonso campaign when I was struck by what you have done within the party. Looked at one of the paintings at the wall. Look at the painting. What is the painting? The famous piece depicted a giant sleeping. I always look at the painting. Sleeping beneath the village. The trees, rivers, and hills were all part of the giant's body. Let's see what the fuck is in Minecraft. I've only tuned in now, but this might be one of your funnier campaigns. So do you like the voice acting, or what? What is it you enjoy? Its eyes were two caves looking up at the people. It showed daylight at the far left and nighttime at the far right. The giant seemed to be watching the village. It was totally unbeknownst to the villagers. Marcel pointed his finger at me. You say we will transform this nation, Mr. Rain. My conglomerate has a way of doing things, and I don't want them to change. So I want to cooperate with you. The intent is mutual. You might have the people's support now, Mr. President, but what happens when you make mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes.
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's hear his point, Vice President. The voice acting, the commentary, now about the gulag thing. Yeah. Yep. You know what? Speaking of, because we're meeting with this rich man, I actually am going to run over to my kitchen real quick. I'm going to get some glue wine going. I think that I was drinking that the first campaign of this we did. But, it's like a big bottle, so I've got more to drink. So I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to set the pot up. Okay, I'm just going to get the pot I'm going to use boiling with some water first. Alright. Being a president in this country means having many enemies. Enemies that will resort to anything to bring you down. Let's say these enemies cause a scandal or leak sensitive information from the administration.
These would be destructive when they were released. If they were released. Continue. Assume that the articles would actually protect your integrity no matter what. Now, try to imagine how up to 5 million people I reach will not lose faith in you. Let's hear your offer. I want to... Oh yeah, I should maybe do a gangster voice for my guy. I think I've been having trouble finding out my voice for this version of Anton Rain. But I want 2 things, Mr. President. Number 1 is a guarantee from you that the Rain administration won't meddle in HOS affairs no matter what happens. Number 2 is a simple gentleman's favor for the future. Let me prove my services to you first, and I'm sure you won't disapprove when the time comes. It's an interesting proposal. Not interesting, but necessary. You surely know that this is a win-win situation. The media will be on your side, strengthening your position. It will also protect my business operations throughout the changes this country will see. We have a deal. Yeah, let's just... No need to bargain about it. Happy to hear that. You can contact me personally through this number. As soon as you know that a story against you will break, please call me and it will be taken care of. I hope you will uphold your end of the bargain as well. You can bet on it. I'm a man of my word. Let me see, gangster. I was like, you know, do it. Joe Pesci is like, yeah, you can bet on it. I'm a man of my word. What are you saying? Like I'm a liar? Like I'm a liar? Like I lie to you? I don't tell the truth? That's not Pesci. Ugh, dang it. I rarely bet, but when I do, all possibilities are accounted for. We'll meet again. Goodbye. He's a rich snob asshole, not gangster. Yeah. Thank you for your time, Mr. Koronti. And there we have it. All right, we got our deal with Marcel. We're going to have the press on our side. You better believe I got the press up my sleeve. See me dominate, 'cause I'm powerful and great. I think we're going to go to the funeral. I don't think there's any real reason not to. I think the only reason the reason we wouldn't go is if we were doing like, yeah, if we were doing like a soulless run, which this is definitely not, I'd say we ditch the funeral, but yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Anyway, yeah, well, let's go ahead and attend. We won't make like a big fuss of things when we're there. We're not gonna like weep or whatever, but anyway, let me see if that water's boiling in the other room yet. Give it another couple minutes. Go to the funeral and be an asshole. There we go. Now you're talking. Like, it might be rude to not go to a funeral, but it could be, you know, it could be pardoned. But going to the funeral and then being an ass, much worse. All right, there's clouds. It was going to rain. This passing maintained immediate attraction. All Swordlands paying attention to the ceremony, especially to what I would say in my speech today. Sir, we have arrived. Flashes from the cameras blinding me. Can't really see. You see, once again, when dealing with Sergei, they only give me 2 polite options. So, just thank you. It is my duty, sir. Alright. Anton! Mr. President. I just wanted to inform you the perimeter is clear and secured completely. There is no one getting in or out without our knowledge. You'd better be right, for your sake. Ugh. I have taken the necessary precautions. I personally made sure of that. We are all safe. Good. If anything happens to Anton, you'll have to answer to the First Lady. And trust me, Karl, you don't want that. I don't think any of us want that. Indeed. It started to rain. Several unintelligible voices were heard from Karl's radio. He stepped out to reply and returned shortly. We have a small problem, sir. A few, 5 to be exact, Red Youth members are here to attend the funeral. They apparently said they wish to pay their respects to the fallen comrade. Should we let them in? Do you think they pose a security threat? No, they were thoroughly searched. It looks like they really are here to attend the funeral. Absolutely not! It's too risky, as you command. Let's head over. They're about to start.
We walk towards the crowd circle. You see, I think that's going because, like, if I was doing a soloist run, then I would say, oh, don't let him in, fuck him. But like, I'm not doing a soloist run, so this is kind of perfect. This might be my only opportunity to do it this way. Anyway, that water should be boiling now. Let me pour it out and then put the wine in. Hey guys, we're actually just gonna take like a minute or two because I'm only doing like a small mug of the wine, so I want to make sure it doesn't burn. So I'm just gonna let it hit that boil, bring it down to the simmer, pour it, and come right back. Okay, so it should just be a couple minutes. It's a very, very small amount of wine. Get some water too. Hydration time, exactly. Okay, got my little mug of wine. It's like a little smaller than a regular coffee mug, but a bigger than an espresso. Some holiday glue wine. So, Bernard's widow and daughter were in the front row, staring at the coffin with a mixture of disbelief, confusion, and above all, cold, unforgiving sadness. Both their eyes were red and swollen with reading. It reminded me of Deanna. I took my podium. So, because we're at the funeral, I'm not sure how rude we could actually be, but... Today we are mourning Bernard Circus, a father, a husband, a loyal servant of this country. Let's see here. I will confess that I disagreed with Bernard Circus almost entirely, but it doesn't mean that he deserved this. Our country can be a better place. Let's see here. I interpret this, attack as an attack against Swordland, and by extension against me, personally. Hi, Boxlord. You're wondering what's this whole campaign about. Do you mean that you've never seen me play, Suzerain before? Like, you don't understand Suzerain or something? Hold on, I'm gonna try to get a sip of this wine here. Oh yeah, let me let that cool a little bit though. Let us all mourn the passing of Sir Bernard Circus. Remembered him well. Thank you. I don't know. Some attendees start clapping. Some were crying. Step down from the podium. Yeah, we just kind of did the in and out. It's time to go. We got work to do. As someone once said, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Hope was still on the horizon. Yeah, you know, that was just kind of just you know, some fucking appearance just to get seen, get noticed. All right, what's next? Briefing on the current diplomatic situation. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit just to... Oops. Oop, not what I meant to do. There we go. Just wanted to bring it down a little bit. All right, David Visky. May I sit down, Mr. President? Of course, it's a pleasure to see you. No, how about gesture at the chair? Good to see you. He settled himself. Look at you, Anton, 4th President of Swordland. What a privilege for me. I still remember the day you took my class at the Lockevian School of Economics. Oh, sec. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. I'm going to drink my wine now. Cheers. Somehow the inexorable ebb and flow of life has led us to here, to positions where we can change the course of history. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, David. It was meant to be. He's coughing. Let's talk about our foreign policy. He's just hacking up a lung and I don't give a fuck. Anyway. We'll talk more. Welcome, everyone. Let's begin. Yeah, come on. Let's just jump into it. Alright, let's hear about Agnolia, our brotherly nation to the northeast, allies for the longest time. Van Horten expects better cooperation through a better trade deal. We should maintain the existing agreement. We can't lose our advantage. 1,000,000 Anglo swords. Let's see here. How did we feel about immigration again? We chose to, we said that we were going to, like, let the immigrations in, right? Because we wanted cheap labor. I don't remember where we checked that. President could veto bills. No, that's the law. Diplomacy. What was it up here? Turn 1. I'm pretty sure we said we were going to have relaxed immigration. Because we wanted the labor. See, she is live. Should the Postal Service be burying you underneath other people's Christmas gifts? Yeah, alright. You got some Shiner holiday cheer? Nice, nice. Shiner is, of course, a Texas brewery. But more immigrants to disrupt the labor unions and get more unskilled labor. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm supportive of relaxed immigrant. Yeah, so yo, Lancius, you're going. A relaxed immigration policy was one of Agnolia's main requests, which is unacceptable. Most of the migrants in our country haven't even assimilated into Swordist culture. Adding more won't help. I'm supportive of relaxed immigration. I would rethink the matter seriously because it has great influence on our society and values. And we live in it's a society, Mr. President, and we live in one. Am I accepting suggestions for your next series? You can suggest if you want. There's zero guarantee I'll listen, though. Let them eat coal. But yeah, the Christmas presents day, you know, it's just, I've just gotten so used to it. Like, basically, I worked into, like, I streamed this morning. I got dressed, went to work, came back, and started streaming again here. So, like, as soon as the stream is over and I'm having my wine, it is bedtime. The only thing I did when I got home was, you know, shower. This glue wine is going to help me go to sleep because I already know I'm working tomorrow. We promised to keep our immigration laws relaxed in the election campaign. Don't give a shit about Vogslin. What's the situation in Velin? Tumultuous in the south. He's expanding his powers. Reports indicate they've been warming up to continent international aid. Yeah, so...
Swordland paid enough by housing millions of refugees during the Welland Civil War. No more.
Millions? Damn. Do Ba'athist and TNO unify all the Middle East? I'm not sure it would work that way because like every individual country would have to, you know, go the correct path to get the huge UAR. If you wanted to see me do a Ba'athist United Arab Republic kind of thing, Mao's Legacy would be the game where I could do that in. There's actually an achievement for that, I think. It's like if you form the biggest UAR you can and defeat Israel, like you destroy Israel. I think that's something that's possible. I might have to double check those achievements. But so anyway, Swordland paid enough. Then we had our civil war. They were there for us. That is how refugee rights work internationally. Our main goal should be to avoid a refugee crisis. One of the demands, he wants to tighten our immigration laws. Yeah. So what I think we're gonna do, incidentally, here, let me close this. How do I fucking close this? What I think we're gonna do in terms of my international alliances, like the Agnolia one is a pretty obvious safe trade alliance to make, at least trade. I don't know if we're going to do anything with Welland. Probably not. Because I think if you align yourself with Welland, you can't work with Lesbia. And Lesbia is who I really want to be friends with. And, you know, join Arcasia as well. You were just playing Sus Loft and TNO. How's the Suzerain game go? It's going alright. You know, we're trucking along in Chapter 1 here. Imagine if the workers start demanding things such as high wages, equal pay, and good conditions. What parasites? Okay. Let's move on. I don't give a shit about Vogsland. Talk to me about Lesbia. Try to extract something from Welland anyway. Yeah, I think they'll at least give us that oil deal or whatever. We're definitely not gonna form a military alliance with them though. That'll be we're wanna go with Lesbia for that. Oh, this wine is good. The glue wine. Jacob Brown says, "How could I miss that?" What did you not get notified by YouTube that I was streaming? Hold on, we got a little issue here in the other monitor. Let me just try to clean this up. Okay, get the oil, yeah. First you get the oil, then you get the power, then you get the women, then you get the money. Wait, I might have the order of all those things wrong. Oh, hey, well, I've got a lot of viewers here. I wanted to continue discussing something that was brought up this morning. Who do you guys think would be funny historical figures or moments to, like, have a t-shirt of? Because I was saying this morning how, like, basically all my shirts that I have either rotted away or the ones that were still in good condition I gave to charity. So, excuse me, this charity drive that was going on. So I was thinking about shirts that I want to get, and what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just like get some cheap ass shirts from Etsy, because you can get shirts on Etsy for like less than $10. And so I found one before that was like this like Julius Caesar World Tour thing. So it's like his battles, but it looks like a concert tour. Hold on a second. I am having an issue here. You can always go to the thrift store. Yeah, I'll probably actually go to the thrift store. I was thinking about maybe getting 2 or 3 funny things. So look for Trotsky in a sombrero. You know what? Trotsky is enough of is like I would argue an obscure enough figure that people wouldn't even know who he is initially if I wore a Trotsky shirt. Let's see here. Oh man, I typed in Trotsky shirt, and one thing that popped up though is the Swoletariat, the anti-fascist bodybuilding club. Okay. And then there's a picture of Karl Marx, and it says sharing is caring. Let's see here. Good morning, Alicia. We are Rome, and this is Ghost Division. Can you explain again? You use the CSA logo. So the CSA logo has nothing to do with my personal political opinions, whether I agree or disagree with them. It really was just early on, many years ago, when I was working on the channel. Let's see here. Was working on the channel, and I started doing Kaiserreich guides, and that's when the channel got traction. So I thought, okay, I should use a logo from Kaiserreich, and I ended up using the CSA, even though, funnily enough, at the time I had absolutely like no fucking clue about like 20th century American leftist movement. It's not really something you get taught in schools in the United States. And so over time I started to modify it, so this is like the 5th iteration, so it's pretty rare that people notice that it has its roots in there. Let's see here. But yeah, there's some funny shirts that popped up. Only a couple that actually have Trotsky, and they're not even funny. It's just literally just Trotsky's face. Like the Karl Marx sharing is caring thing, like that's funny and cute. There's a Soviet space cat t-shirt. Oh, the cat looks a little sad. Anyway. Which is my political position? Oh, dude, I'm not going to talk about my political positions on here. This is a gaming channel, bro. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about Lesbia. Lesbia is actually really important. So Lesbia, these are our neighbors to the southeast here. So these are who we ideally want to get in an alliance with, I think. They are the jewel of the continent and the oh yes, they're being led by Patricio Alvarez. Patricio Alvarez is a lesbian politician and business magnate who currently serves as the Prime Minister of Lesbia. In 1950, the Eras magazine ranked him as the 100th richest man in the world. Alvarez's business career began in construction with his company Alvarez Industries. In the late 1930s, he built the famous Alvarez Towers, where he based his business, and Falenco 5, a development of 5,000 residential apartments in the city of Falenco. Wine drink time. So, he was investigated by the Lesbian Anti-Corruption Force for profiteering in 1940, but the investigation was dropped the same year when he entered the Democracia Lesbia as a member of the Lesbian Parliament. He has reportedly admitted that he entered politics so as to avoid imprisonment. So I guess in their country, like it's one of those things like if you're the president of France, you can't be tried for crimes or whatever. CHG confirmed Carless. Yeah, it's like CHG doesn't want to talk about his political affiliations. Obviously, he's a oh fuck, I'm forgetting their names. The South Americans that are in favor of like either nuclear war or an alien invasion to achieve utopia. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on their names. It starts with a P. Not Peronismo. It's what is it called? Posadist! The Posadists! That's it, yeah. It's like CHG confirmed a Posadist. What I will say is that in real life, when you tell people, like, yeah, I don't want to talk about politics or, like, my personal politics, people will always assume you are somebody they hate. At least, I don't know, maybe it's just an El Paso thing, but that's what it's always seemed like to me. It's like, oh, you don't want to talk to me about what you are, so you're my enemy. Fuck you. It's like, okay, well, good to know that you're not cool. More peronismo. More ismo. We need more ismo usage. It's such a great term. You know, it sounds so much cooler than ism. Like, you know, it's like social. It's like, guys, I believe in socialism compared to socialismo. You know, it sounds cooler. So, our past relations have been great during the last decade, but oh yeah, we didn't actually look at the Lesbia thing.
So Lesbia, the republic, is in eastern Recopa with some pockets of territory in the Antiquayan Sea. It is a parliamentary republic currently governed by the Democracia Lesbia party with Patricio Alvarez as the prime minister. Its capital is Paria. Lesbia is one of the oldest countries on the Mercopian continent, emerging as a kingdom in the early 9th century. It was conquered by the Marquian Empire in the 11th century, which ruled the area for nearly 6 centuries. When Lesbia became independent again in the 17th century, it emerged as a federation of small city-states, princedoms, and duchies ruled by an elective monarchy in Perla. Republic of Lesbia was formed during the Century of Revolutions, following a peaceful revolution in 1850 inspired by the Arcadian Revolution. For much of the modern period, until the 19th century, Lesbia ruled over a large area of land in the Antiquayan Sea, as well as several colonies in the continent of Rica. The country was heavily criticized by the international arena for shutting down their borders during the Welland Civil War. In the 1930s, Lesbia went through a great economic boom and emerged as a global economic power in the late 1940s. I'm saying Lesbia. It's because I'm saying... Okay, Lopez, are you just trying to provoke me in this stream? What the hell are you doing, dude? But, it's Lesbia. Like, maybe my puh sounds like a buh. That could be because I'm from a border town, but at least I'm not getting my buzz and my buzz. You know, like, watch out, bato! That'd be shitty. I never talk politics on shift and piss people off because of it, because I'll just shut conversations down. Yeah, it's like you talk about anything in the world. Do we have to talk about politics? Especially at work. Why is rain still poor? What are you talking about? I got 2 wealth because I took that bribe. The investment's gonna come, people. Don't worry. Lesbia's flag does look like a pride flag, so we definitely make a joke from it. I once saw a screenshot. I guess it must have been from Tumblr or something, but somebody was saying, look, I would say that this community, we generally accept that there's more than 2 genders. There could be like non-binary or stuff, so why are people still identifying themselves as bisexual instead of pansexual? And then there was just like a cascade of answers of just everybody just saying, bi flag's cooler. Which, you know, as somebody who's a heterosexual, cis straight man, wait, heterosexual means straight, the bisexual flag's pretty darn good. Like from on the outside looking in, the bisexual flag's good. Obviously, it's not like in the tier ratings. I wouldn't say it's probably not like the S tier. Like obviously the rainbow, you know, covers everything flag. That's the S tier flag. That's the gold standard. It's like the Augustus of flags. You know, it's the first and probably the greatest. But the second tier, the A tier, I would say the bisexual flag's in there. Alright, so, pride flag tier list win. Maybe I'll do that on Voyages in time. Okay. Yeah, so, like, off the top of my head, though, you gotta have the rainbow flag is up there. The trans flag is up there. A tier would be like bisexual flag. The lesbian one with the battle axe, that's fun, but ultimately I don't remember what the colors were, but I remember not liking them, so that's probably C tier, B tier. Let's see, don't remind me of the bisexual versus pansexual debate. The jokes that quickly turn into the shattering of wine bottles over people's head is real. There's something called dream sexual. Look it up. It's sus. I'll tell you what I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up the dream sexual flag. I'm going to type that into the search engine. I'm not liking this flag. I don't like when the gray is in there. Oh, and now I'm getting the demisexual into my search here. I think I've talked about this before, but I personally think the demisexual one is completely ridiculous, especially because I think I can identify as a demisexual, because if I remember correctly, a demisexual is somebody who will only have sex with somebody if they feel a romantic connection. And it's like, oh, is having standards a sexuality now? Well, call me demisexual, except don't, because I don't like the flag. Anyway. So, allying with the richest regional nation could be beneficial. We need to draw closer to the Arcasia bloc and the Arcasian Treaty Organization. So I guess let's take a little bit of time to
to read about Arcasia. So this is basically the equivalent of the United States of America in the Cold War. That's my understanding of what Arcasia is supposed to be. But let's read about it. This is who we're hopefully going to ally ourselves with. The Republic of Arcasia, commonly known as Arcasia, is a constitutional republic situated in the western half of Mercopa and is considered as a superpower of the world. The country's capital is Ventry City, a global city which is regarded to be the financial center of the world. It is, it's currently led by President Dwight Walker, who we'll talk about much later, not right now, not today. The Republic of Arcasia was founded in 1823 after the overthrow of King Jonathan XII by Arcasian revolutionaries, which started a period of conflict and revolutions in the world called the Century of Revolutions. At the end of the century, it emerged as a global superpower, which expanded its influence by promoting capitalism to all corners of the world. Arcasia relies heavily on its military power and has been involved with many military operations and security pacts around the world. A highly developed country, the nation became the world's largest economy by nominal GDP at the start of the 20th century. During this period, many Arcasian companies rose to be the most profitable and largest in the world. The funding of the Arcasian universities transformed them into the world's best education centers, and its people earned various political freedoms that the world has never seen before. The economic power is currently locked in a fierce global ideological battle with United Kontana, which is essentially the Soviet Union. Both powers are in a race of influence around the globe. Arcasia has a strong presence in the West, but has been slowly growing their influence in the further corners of the world, most of the time in conflict with United Kontana. While some view Arcasia as a beacon of freedom that enlightens the world, others see it as an oppressive government set out to enslave other countries. And recent reports of torture camps and unethical use of force to interrogate prisoners of war has caused major political problems within the country, and an international outcry which contributed to the latter idea. Arcasia also experiences high levels of inequality between rural and urban areas. That's probably supposed to say is more undeveloped land in Arcasia than any of the countries in the world. It is home to the most remote regions of the western north, as well as the central Mercopian desert. In fairness, how the fuck are you supposed to develop the desert? Is the game only economical, or is it has war? Oh yeah, there's definitely a war. We're trying to actually avoid the war, though. Hopefully. Let's see. Much like Ace Combat, I like that Suzerain took the mixing of countries into fictional variations so they can make interesting stories without worry about cringy nationalists. I agree. Just some guy. The company has ways of making people talk. Glory to Yukobania. Let's see. Where was I? Strongest economy in the world. Average civil rights record. Very good political freedoms. Low unemployment levels. Higher purchasing power. It's the center of consumerist culture. It is the founding member of the Arcasian Treaty Organization, which was created to counter the influence of millennialism and United Kontana's military capabilities. It is also a member of the Organization for Mercopian Economic Development, or OMEC, and a permanent member of the Alliance of Nations. Yeah. So, I'm certain the recession has a lot to do with their retraction of investments. Once they see that money isn't in the picture, they'll vanish rather quickly, because they are capitalists. They have shown a selfish attitude during the Valiant Civil War. No. During the Valiant Civil War by closing their borders and funneling refugees across into Shoreland. The capitalism of Lesbia is inspirational to me. Look at their economic power. Whoop. Everything comes at a cost, but Lesbia, the cost is wealth inequality, but business people are getting richer and richer. There are hundreds of very privileged oligarchs who invest inside and outside of Lesbia. Some made significant business investments in the cities of Bafengi and Volgin. Alright, so Rumberg, yeah, this is big. This queen bitch is being a pain and might, invade us. We must prepare them from interfering in our affairs. I will one day do a war campaign against these people, which I'll hopefully win. Bastards. The threat is far too overblown. Yeah, whatever. Let's move on. Let's see. Punctuality is important. Peter just finally fucking showed up to the meeting. How deep into it are we? Sorry, guys. I hope I didn't miss anything we didn't know already. Just shut the fuck up, mate. Shut the fuck up, mate. Yo, fuck Rumberg. All my homies hate Rumberg. Anyway, war is very hard to win, and every update they make it harder to win too. Yeah, that's the one thing I've seen consistently online. It's just like, oh man, it's like it's gonna be a bitch when the time comes. Make money, not war. That is the best anti-war slogan I've ever heard. Yeah. Anyway. Peter, let's see here. Don't comment. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Be born again. Let's talk about trade. Let's talk about money, baby. We need to sign a trade agreement with smaller neighbors. Tell me about the trade deal with Agnolia. Yeah. And then we can go meet, Martin Van Horten, an Agnolian politician, currently Prime Minister of the Republic of Agnolia. I'm the youngest politician to hold this office in the government. My father was president too, but I'm my own man. I ran a baseball team. I don't know. Money is profitable. Yeah, the reason behind this is more diplomatic than economic. It's an old ally, valuable trade partner. They want privileged access. Something about alliance with Vogsland. What the fuck ever. Let's see. We need to make concessions. I don't want to give any concessions to them. PM has a mandate to arrange a fair deal with us. He's an avid supporter of relaxed immigration. It'll help us. If we're going to increase our regional influence to previous levels, we might need to make amends with our neighbors. Let's see. Mad VC says to do it. You need 2 allies, recovered economy, fully reformed army, plus to have done all the minor military options. Yeah. So it's like impossible now to win the war on your own, because I think I remember, obviously way earlier this year, but I was looking into how you're supposed to win the war, and there was a lot of conflicting information I was seeing online, but I'm pretty sure I saw some screenshots where somebody was like, yeah, you can win the war without allies. But there's been updates and they keep making it harder. War is bad, but planes are rad. Money is good too. Why not buy more money? Yeah. See, the most profitable way to make money is making money. Yeah, just get that printing machine going burr. Okay, decision's up to you as always. Tell me about the trade deal with Wellen. It's possible there'll be international ramifications. Lucrative deal for us, but we need to think about the consequences. I'm of the opinion it's simply too risky. Yes, we would gain resources and immediate capital, but I'm afraid of the consequences. Let's see here. You may be right. You used to be able to win the war solo if you went full solist military. When the time comes on the topic of immigration, Smolensk is a known isolationist. Yeah, here's Saddam Hussein. Agreed. We should give it a try. We're going to steer a turn towards west in Arcasia. Have an effect on the negotiations with Wellen. There'll be a problem, but definitely worth trying. We need to consider the effects of our economic doctrine plan. The fact that we're headed towards a market economy will have an influence. We have a lot of time to prepare for the scheduled villages to Wellen and Agnolia. I believe this gives us a brief overview of our current options. Okay, diplomatic incident bullshit. They closed the constant. So this is just Rumberg crap. They're just playing with us. I hope future generations of kids get to see pictures of the money printer in their history books. Especially if they put Adam babies over it. What? Oh, man.
isn't it telling when other countries are working with us while Rumberg is cutting more ties with us? Future books will save all the anime. All the anime must be documented. But the Voyages and Time Channel will do a bit of that. Let's see here. Can we just bomb Rumberg already? Yeah. The neglect of Alfonso and the chaos of the elections delayed our diplomatic efforts. Now there's only 2 Rumberg diplomatic missions left in Swordland. One is Dire, the other's in Holsort. That's right, they closed one of their consulates and they just had 2 others. Just, what a bunch of fucking babies. Let's see, display strength. Yeah, we could either buff up the military or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna close the Swordland consulate and dome. Like, again, who fucking cares? We're not gonna be. We're just kind of skipping through this stuff. We're not gonna go to war. Yes. See you later, gentlemen. And I think we might end it there. Yeah, because we just got the save. All right, so we got quite a lot done today. Yeah, we did the contract. We went back on the bribe. We did the deal with Koronti. We went to the funeral. We've closed the consulate. So what's actually next? Briefing on the results from the reform committee. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's stop it here. So next time, I think we're gonna start figuring out what our attempted new constitution is gonna look like. What of our burgeoning military-industrial complex? Yeah, no. Our economy's not strong enough to have a military-industrial complex yet, nor is there a military-industrial complex that can support our economy just yet. But yeah, that's going to be it. Just an hour today, because I already streamed this morning, and I worked quite a bit, and I already know I'm working tomorrow. But thank you all very much for joining me. Trying to think... yeah, you know, I'll try to stream tomorrow if I can. You know how it is. Make the Constitution as cursed as possible. I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet. So I guess it's kind of good that I'll sort of think on it for a while. And of course, we have to read the thing and see what the Reform Committee has to say. Anyway, you all have yourselves a very pleasant evening. I've finished my wine as well. And, yeah, time to lay down. Sweet dreams, everybody. Take care, and pray for the mailman.